Hey everybody, Jank here. Thanks for watching. I'm really excited because this is my first full gameplay video, and as always, it would really help if you like and subscribe, especially since I'm just getting started making magic content for you all. I'm gonna do a quick evolution of the deck, a deck tech, and then we can get into some gameplay. There are about, I think, 8 rounds today, which is probably too many for a video, but I wasn't sure which ones to cut. Stick around. I think in a minute I will tell you which ones are most interesting if you only have a little bit of time. This list, pretty close to the list that I played for the Timeless Open. Looking at 2 reanimates, kind of got it on sacrifice. We got more in on sacrifice in our list. We're playing Fable. Ultimately, this ends up being too slow in a lot of our important matchups. It's probably fine in our mid-rangey games. There's better cards to have. Pretty normal sideboard. We put 1 extra reanimate in the sideboard, I think, for, again, those like mid-rangey matchups. Running Vexing Baubles, Pyroclasms, Thought Seizes for the combo matchups where our life total doesn't matter as much. Running a Braid, really one of the biggest things that is hurting this deck at this point is Disruptor Flute, I think it is. It is a Pithing Needle that also makes things cost 3 more, but it's 2 mana and has Flash. So the abilities can't be activated. And then 3 Leyline of the Void. I still don't know if Leyline of the Void is correct. I mean, it is like a win button against a lot of these Jund decks and different Breach decks that are going around. They often don't have excellent ways to remove it, and we're a lot of times faster than them at that point. But yeah, I don't know. Things are going to change when Chrome Mox comes out with the release of Ether Drift. This is the list that I've been messing around with. So after seeing the top 8s at the Open, the #1 deck was Orzhov Belcher, the Show and Tell Sorin package. Show and Telling in the big like 7-drop vampire, and then sacrificing it, or just doing like a beatdown plan with it, because I think it's a 5/7 or something with lifelink. It's something wild. So this list, we're running 6 Necro effects. We're running 4 sacrifices. We're really all in on the fast mana. We're running 1 main deck Thoughtseize. I don't know, what's our land count at this point? It's 24 lands. 24 lands is probably reasonable. Solar Transformer is a layover from the previous deck version that I just showed you. That deck was, attempting to disrupt, attempting to control through Fury and Grief. And Solar Transformer was a really good way to get colored mana to be hard casting, some of our different spells, or also to keep a hand with only red lands and a Solar Transformer. Let's take these out. Let's add Mind Stones. If we were to play Beseeches, what would we cut for Beseeches? Try cutting the other Necros. So what I just did is I just made a version, 4 Necros and 4 Mind Stones over the Solar Transformers. I think a Thoughtseize, Malakir Rebirth, and the 2 Necro Dominants. I don't know, I guess I'm curious to see how that goes. I'm just kind of going to be testing some different versions today. Alright, so now we are to the actual deck tech. This is the 75 that I will be playing today. The deck is really clean. Throughout its evolution, I experimented with a lot of different stuff like main deck hand disruption, but I think the variety of tutors and the Necropotence just gives us, kind of the consistency and speed that we need. We don't really want to see disruption in our main deck at all. What we're looking at is a land base here, 24 untapped MDFC lands. So if you're unfamiliar, these are creatures or other spells on the front, and on the back, they're lands, and you can pay 3 mana and bolt yourself for it to enter untapped. We've got 3 playsets of red ones, 3 playsets black ones. Those are going to be our mana base. We've also got Mind Stone. Mind Stone is something that we can bargain to beseech the mirror. It's also something that in tight spots can let us draw a card. We were playing, like you saw, with Solar Transformer before, but the speed of this coming in untapped is just a little bit better for our purposes. Beseech the Mirror is a tutor for 4 mana. You can search for a card, put it into your hand. If you bargain, so if you sacrifice an artifact or enchantment and its mana value is 4 or less, you can cast that card for free. So this lets us find and cast Goblin Charbelcher, our win con, for free. Our other tutor is Gamble. It's for 1 red mana sorcery. You can search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then discard a card at random. Typically we have enough redundancy in our deck because a lot of what we're looking to do is evoke one of these elementals. So exiling a card that is the same color respectively. They come in and sacrifice themselves. But we can in turn, with that evoke trigger on the stack, sacrifice them and get mana value equal to their mana value. So it's going to be 4 or 5. We've also got Dark Ritual for acceleration. We have Demonic Tutor, the one of, because it's restricted to 1 copy in Timeless. And then we've got Necropotence. Necropotence is 3 black mana. It's an enchantment. You skip your draw step, and whenever you discard a card, you exile it from your graveyard. You can also, at any time, pay 1 life to exile the top card of your library face down. Put it into your hand at the beginning of the next end step. So typically, depending on the matchup, we're going to be exiling between 7 and 13 cards roughly. The math is, if we shock this in, or rather bolt this in, we'll be at 17. Dark Ritual, Necropotence. Then if we hit 7 cards, it puts us down to 10. Generally, we're doing that against decks that play more creatures, aggro decks, or potentially we could go down 13, down to 4. The math there is that we can still bolt in a land next turn. You might also see us going to 7 or 8 to attempt to survive a little bit of aggro, a lightning bolt, something of that nature. And then our win con, Goblin Charbelcher. It's 4 mana, 3 to activate. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land card, of which we have none. We have these MDFCs, which the game only sees the front when you're flipping. It doesn't see the land on the back. So then we're going to reveal all of our deck, and Goblin Charbelcher deals damage equal to the number of non-land cards revealed this way to any target. So typically, we're going to be doming someone, you know, for between 40 and 50 directly to their face. And that's basically how the deck functions. We're looking to draw a bunch of cards with Necropotence. Sometimes we're just goldfishing there against decks that aren't very interactive or very fast. Or Beseech to get that thing in for free, and then rustle up enough mana to activate. So I'm excited for you guys to see the gameplay. Let me know what you think in the comments if you have any ideas. And without ado, here's round 1. Leman Huntsman. I don't know what that means with a Fibblethip fellow. First, this gives us not a lot. We got a Mind Stone. This gives us turn 1 Necropotence with a Beseech and a Gamble in our hand. Play this. Bottom the Monk. So we will bolt this in. Cast our Dark Ritual. Cast our Necropotence. I still am not 100% positive on what the correct Necropotence heuristics are. We have a good amount of fast mana in our deck. We've got the Belcher in hand. We can sacrifice Fury. So yeah, this is a win. So Dark Ritual, Fury, Gamble to pitch, Charbelcher. Do we already take a sacrifice? Sacrifice, that's 5. A Grief, Beseech. We have hand disruption. Is it important that we have another tutor? We need to keep a red source, which means we would need to cut. Oh, we have 2. Let's go with this. I think barring like a Thoughtseize or a Spell Pierce, this is our turn 2. An icky, scary Thoughtseize. So we will Grief. That's kind of the beauty of this deck, is when we Necro into a Grief, we can get rid of whatever they have that could stop us. They're playing Mill. It doesn't really matter what we take at this point. Dark Ritual. Oh, sorry, the Evoke trigger's still on the stack. Go into full control. Submit 0. Sacrifice 7 mana. So I don't really know. I don't know if there's a standard timeless mill list. If there is, I'm not aware of it. So I don't know what kind of stuff they'd be playing. Pretty sure we just run it back. I mean, I'd take out the Mind Stones for disruption. That's what I was typically doing with the Solar Transformers. But since we're wanting to test them, I think we just kind of keep the way it is. I guess one advantage of the Necros against Mill is that we're not forced to draw in our upkeep. Those archive traps could get us with our beseeches and gambles, though. We have a kitty approaching. Oh, mister. This doesn't really do what we want. This would do what we wanted if it had black mana. We could just cast the Belcher. I think that we keep this and bottom Beseech, probably. And hope for a black source. Oh, well, we've got our black source. The unfortunate thing now, though, is that... Yeah, I think that we just play Agadeem's tapped. I don't... If this is mono blue, I don't think they play any hand disruption. Interesting that they play Cephalid Colosseum. That's pretty fun. To just force someone at instant speed to draw themselves out. Yeah, I think that we just go like that. I don't know if they're playing counter spells. Do we shock? We probably just shock and play the Mind Stone. They're probably playing Mana Drain at the very least. I think next turn we're probably gonna grief them to see if they have any counter spells. At this point, we're basically just goldfishing our deck on a non-Necro hand. So yeah, I think the Mind Stone still helps like the Transformer. Realistically, in this version, I don't know how often we're going to be... Oh, well, they just tap out. I think we're fine. They could sink into Stupor it. Still have 42 cards. I don't think that Glimpse is a very playable card in Mill. I could be wrong. One advantage of playing all the MDFCs is that Tasha's doesn't hurt us at all. This could represent Spell Pierce, I suppose. Or what else? Surgical. They're surgicaling the Necros, which is not an insane thing to do. We're lucky they didn't hit a Belcher. We get to see what's in our hand. Wait, does sacrificing this... This is 1, 2, 3, 4... Spell Pierce would really fuck us up. I think we just kind of have to. We could do it this turn. Oh, Consign. They have 2 Consigns. That's definitely rough for us. I've got 2 Consigns and a Drown in the lock. We sack this to draw a card, then shotgun again next turn. I think that we do. Sacrifice isn't going to help us at this point. But this is rough for sure. We might just have to win with a good hand on the play next turn. We gamble for a grief. I think that's probably our best chance of winning. 20% chance we discard 25. Okay, so we got rid of the what? Hand. Now we... How much mana? So Dark Ritual gets us less mana. Does it matter either way? This gets us 4, puts us at 6. It doesn't really matter. We could counter this. That wouldn't really matter, right? Unless they've got a Sink into Stupor in their hand. So I don't know. Could be the Sink. In which case they can still counter it when we try and replay it again. But I think that was probably our best line. Okay, they scoop. So that one became fun. It wasn't completely a goldfish. So far we haven't had any Beseech action. But it's probably been better than a Thoughtseize. I don't know if it's been better than a Necro Dominance, though. I guess that's the real question, if we can trim our list even further to still include some Necro Dominance. I like that they have these nice loading screens. Game 2 against Noir Olive 972 with Teferi, Avatar, and a Sundering Titan. I don't care for what that communicates. We go first with Necro and Belcher and Grief in hand. Seems pretty good. Hello. I wonder what they could be pausing. Necro resolves. Thanks. Oh. Bro! He's about to fucking... I'm out just waiting on my Necro triggers. Yeah, I think we do the best. They have the Thoughtseize. Oh, they're playing Orzhov Belcher, huh? Dark Ritual, another Belcher, land, Dark Ritual, Mindstone, Fury. No sacrifice, huh? Keep a Dark Ritual, a Belcher. So that 2 gets us to 3, 4, 5, 6. Only gets us to 6. It's only 4 cards. I guess take a second Belcher. In case they have Thoughtseize. Take the Mind Stone for acceleration in case they take our other land. And then take a red land just in case. That was not ideal. Still turn 3, but I wonder if they've just gone after the time it took them to click through our triggers. I wonder what they drew. Oh, if they tapped Boggart Trawler. And with me. So can they do 1 damage to us in their turn? I don't think so. This gives us the turn 3 with the extra. But if they have a Dark Ritual, they could Witch Enchanter it. It's fortunate we have an extra 1. It'll take us a couple turns, but stop on our upkeep just in case. Matter of good hygiene. So I guess I'm not super familiar with what sideboard is that they're playing. I'm gonna look it up. If I can find this guy's list. I don't know. It doesn't look like things that are super relevant to us. I think that we just run it back. I'm not super familiar with this matchup. Really only familiar with the main deck. They might just be looking to do the same thing to us again, honestly. Well, keep this for a detutor and potentially detutor and Necropotence. I don't know if that's better than just keeping the Dark Ritual. That's probably keep this. Leyline of Sanctity. Oh. This is gonna get weird. We don't play Leyline of Sanctity. I don't know if we should. They might just wreck us here. Got the Belcher. We still probably want to play to get rid of their stuff. We probably don't want a Necropotence. We probably want to Demonic Tutor or something. For what? Fury would be nice, but I see us casting that anytime soon. We don't play our Reanimates. We don't really... Basically just going to have to do the Fair Fury plan. On a Fury? Necropotence doesn't matter. I guess we probably just want a Fury. We'll probably lose this game, I would imagine. And at least belch whatever if they are going on a fair plan. So I guess we bring in our braids in this matchup or what? I don't really know. Bring out our Belcher anyways. They could easily belch us the Dark Ritual sacrifice in a creature. Oh. Do we want to wait to hardcast our Grief? We probably can't afford it. No, we're not going to play Necropotence. Oh, we can't even Grief them. There's the leyline. Oops. Nice. Nor Olives. So they're just goldfishing with leyline protection at this point. We're assuming they're going to mulligan to a leyline hand. They played their Necropotence. We probably just... I mean, we don't necessarily scoop you, but the eventuality in which we win is really slim. No, are we not playing a Braids in this version? I forgot to put a braid in this. Bring in our Thoughtseizes, our Duresses, and take out... Rather have Beseeches than Necros. That way we can still like grab Grief with it, but we have Solitude, which really stops our... We have 2 things of disruption. I think this is they don't have the interest. We take they have 2 Belchers, Dark Ritual, D-Tutor, Thought. Know what the correct choice. Thinking. Take their Belcher. They have. If we take any of these 3, they have the taking their acceleration. We're not really gonna combo past them. Taking their Thoughtseize probably. I guess we could have just gambled for Belcher, but I had thought. Playing tapped, we get a Dark Ritual, which we want to gamble here. Probably do. That is fine. For us, they have 2 Dark Ritual. No lands. We take 1 of their Dark Ritual. I really thought they were going to mulligan to Leyline, honestly, because that just kills us. They're going to D-Tutor for sacrifice and hope they hit white card. Could have just... Land would be awesome. Oh no, land wouldn't be awesome. Lied. We got land. Which is what we needed. We are faster than them. So if we make it to my upkeep, if they didn't draw white card or sacrifice, I don't really know what they tutored for. They shocked it in and are now nothing polite or interesting. I really wish there was chat, but I just nasty. I guess another Dark Ritual doesn't. Oh no, another Dark Ritual does. Okay. They might just have Dark Ritual and they were waiting for us to target them. I wasn't thinking about that. That's a weird interaction. Nope. We got it. We got there. Now we are 2-0 in testing with this new version I threw together. Same Legend, Bronze, with the Ren. They've got the Beast, got Necropotence, and Sacrifice, Grief. Been lucky with the Necropotence hands. Oh, oops, no black land. I guess we shock, gamble, or a black land. Lose our Grief. I think we play tapped black land just so that we can actually get more cards. I think probably more important. Total screw up on my part. Oh well. So Edge Maze screams show and tell to me. So that no, Basic Forest does not. So this is the one that adds a mana and sacks for 5 to make a 2/2 wolf. Okay. Good, we have some cards that we don't want to see already in our hand. See what goodies we get. Land, gamble, grief, Mindstone, gamble. Oh my gosh, this one's rough. No Dark Ritual. We have sacrifice, grief, gamble. No, teach the mirror, land. Don't really want any of these other cards. Guess we take gamble, red land, Mindstone. But what this gets us is shocking. We bolt down to 2. We beseech our Necropotent. We scam grief. Beseech our Necropotent. Librarian can't math. Oh boy. That's fun. We can't really shock land in this. We're going. We grief the trawler. Take Karn. Karn is very, very relevant. I'm glad that we saw that. Resolve. We have 4 mana. We gamble. Even if we gamble for Dark Ritual, it doesn't. I think we have to gamble for Dark Ritual. Probably. Oh no, we still have the Beseech in hand. Now we just gamble for Beseech. I'm misplaying. Well, glad we did that. Hope that they don't have a pump spell, basically. That was the first time we besieged. It was fine. It wasn't like the crazy turn 1 situation of sacrifice Dark Ritual, black card for mana, Fury, red card to pitch. Leyline of the Guild Pact. Not doing on. So glad we only went down to 5. They scoop. So we saw Creature Deck. We saw Storm the Festival. We saw Pelucranos. We saw Karn. I think a version of the sideboard had Shieldred's Edicts for Karns and a Sexy Elf. Well, I don't know why I can't remember the Sexy Elf. So does any of this stuff help us? Does one go for the throat help us? I think we just run it back. And hope they can't get a Karn before we get our combo base. Because it's not going to be like super easy or viable to kill the Karn. This is a Solar Transformer. This hand would be a lot better. This is just Dark Rituals and lands. No black sources. A 5-hand gamble hand. We have the D-Tutor. I think we keep it. Bottom the gamble. Bottom... what? Bottom of red land? That way we can cast our Mind Stone. And D-Tutor potentially. They've got to... They're ramping, they're ramping. We're goldfishing, we're goldfishing. Hedge Maze surveils a what? They have potentially Karn next turn. Oh, this is Storm. I didn't know it had Flash, but sacrifice, but nothing to pitch. Do we? I think the line is Shock Mindstone next turn. Shock Beseech. I think that's our best bet. I mean, if we D-Tutor this turn, we D-Tutor for. Yeah, we still can't even cast it next turn. So I think that is the line. So the new strategy potentially paying off. If they don't have Karn, I guess if they have Karn, we just, I don't know. I mean, with the creatures they have in their Storm the Festival, there's just no way we can get through to hit Karn. I think we just have to get under them. I want to know what this deck list is because it looks interesting. But these games are just going to be quick. 5 mana gets us what? They're fetching because they know their life total doesn't matter, even though this would tap for any color with Leyline of the Guild Pact. Oh, this is 3? Frick, I forgot this was 3. Well, I did a stupid. Okay, they scooped a D-Tutor. I thought they would have mulliganed to Karn. Like, these last 2 decks both had silver bullets for us that they didn't mulligan to. I don't really understand why. Maybe it's just because I'm still in Platinum, I don't know. Hey everybody, we actually ended up playing this on separate days. So here are some additional games. Versus Juicy Blunt with an old-ass Jaya avatar. This probably, yeah, against Luris. No way we want to keep that. The goldfish hand. This gives us turn 1 Belcher, but then no guarantee of being able to actually activate it in a timely manner. Let me think on this. So we Grief pitch Grief. Bolt. Yeah, I mean, just too risky. 5. Gamble hand off 5 isn't great. This is probably worse. What does this get us? Turn 1 Mind Stone. Just go for that goofy poo-poo mulligan. Sure. This is a pretty goofy keep. Bottom the gamble. Bottom 1 Necropotence. And we bottom Charbelcher. This is a really dumb plan. Probably should have kept my 6. I literally just woke up. So it is a Marsh Flats. Fellmire tapped and pass. What are they getting? Undercity Sewers. Shadowy Backstreet. That's curious. Crack a Bloodstained Mire. Are they playing Luris Mardu Energy? If so, this was probably the wrong. Oh, Juggernaut Peddler, eh? They take the Fury. Give us a Juggernaut. D-Tutor. For a Dark Ritual, I guess. This is a pretty sideways line. I definitely shouldn't have done this, but see how it pays off. I think they're actually... I really honestly don't know. Okay, so they are They are Mardu energy. We draw another Necropotence, which I guess smooths our Necropotence draws a little bit, but they're gonna hit us for at least 5 next turn. Might be able to hit us for 8 if they flip a Johnny. I don't know. And then I think we want to gamble for before this Necropotence. And probably want to gamble for grief. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, that wasn't great, but that works. And then we go 1, 2, 3. As far as I'm aware, this build doesn't play any bolts, at least main board. 6. I think that... Oh no, they don't even have a red permanent yet. I feel pretty comfortable going 7. Goofy lines. We could have it on our turn, we might not. Let's see. Siege. I wonder if they play Thoughtseize. Red, gamble, black, sacrifice. Does this get us anywhere? I guess we sacrifice the grief. So if we're able to bolt, we've got 3 mana to start off with. Turn 3 mana into 6 mana. Which still doesn't let us activate our Belcher. Discard 2 cards. I guess we discard the Pinnacle Monk and Shatterskull. I mean, we could cast Shatterskull to, but yeah, no, that's not really mean anything. Sorry, there we go. Probably doesn't get us there. Static Prison. No, we don't have anything to beseech with. We'll scoop for that. I'm kind of a goofy game anyways. I don't want to bring anything in. I think if we're on the play again, we'll just run it back. They probably bring in Hand Disruption, I would assume. Got my little puppy right here next to me. This does not get there. This, bottom of Beseech. We draw a Dark Ritual or Fury. They crack their Mesa. We're probably getting Thoughtseize, I would assume. No, we're not getting Thoughtseize. We're getting Guide of Souls. Deafening Silence. Oh. Forgot that they ran Deafening Silence. So we can't use any of our ramp. This is a Najani or an Amped Raptor. Ocelot Pride and a Guide of Souls. No, they would play it the other way around. Ocelot Pride and a Thoughtseize. I think they're just supposed to take the Belcher, right? I mean, why they take the Necropotence. Don't fully comprehend that. So gambling doesn't do much meaningful for us here because we'll get rid of our Belcher. With the Deafening Silence out, there's nothing we could really search that would help that much. Sure. Maybe they have more Hand Disruption. They shock again. And they attack. Well, we're winning. They're at 11. We play a Mind Stone. I mean, we're getting close-ish to casting a Fury. Like 2 turns if we draw exactly red land Fury. I'm assuming they have room. Maybe they don't have removal for a Fury. I don't know. We're down to 14 here at least. Still no red permanent for a Johnny. Aired Mesa turns into... If we do get to do something fair, they're being pretty reckless with their life total. So we can hardcast a... No, we can't hardcast a Grief. We only have 1 black pip. Another Bowmasters puts us down to 12. And then next turn... Oh, another Bowmasters. Nice! We can't crack our Mindstone at this point. Let's put this down to 10. Means we're not dead on board next turn. So I don't... Actually, wait, we are. I forgot about the Ocelot Prides. Okay. That is a land. Yeah, we scoop. Goofy first game. That's fine. Wake up game. Warm up game. This is 3 lands, a gamble. On the draw, this isn't amazing. We have better sixes. It's a very similar hand, but slightly worse. What sleeves are they using? Jaya sleeves. Does that indicate to me a creature deck? That does, but Jason doesn't. Go down again. We're basically getting the same hands, but slightly worse. I think that we keep this bottom of sacrifice. I'm assuming we bottom a black land. Probably the correct thing to do. I really would not like to. Guess that's what we'll still draw a card. These draws are not great. Once upon a time. Once upon a time for an Elvish Reclaimer. I don't think I actually know what they're playing. Alney Garden, Elvish Reclaimer? I don't know. I guess we just play black tap land and pass. We don't really have... We draw a Belcher. Next turn, that is a win. I think we don't want to spend either our Dark Ritual or a Sacrifice. Also, if we draw something along the lines of Mindstone Beseech, that also helps get us there. We've used their Bog. I guess we drew a Necropotence. And we've got everything we need to win at this point, except... So if we get land this turn, land next turn, or another Dark Ritual. I feel comfortable going pretty deep against what I've seen. And I think just playing this land out, our red count is high enough. I think I feel comfortable going to 7. Currently have nothing for Elvish Reclaimer. I'm curious what their Elvish Reclaimer target is in Golgari, what we've seen so far. I would think something like Woodland, but I'm not sure. And then Sundering Eruption. And then I think it's fairly likely that we get to what we need. We literally just need land Belcher. I don't know what the difference is, but sometimes we hit where we get this browser and sometimes we don't. I think it's a lot easier mentally for me to understand which cards I want to keep versus which cards I want to pitch. Sacrifice. Fury. Red card land is 5. Probably plus Grief. Second Belcher. Or Grief black card. Probably Grief second Belcher because we're not worried about counter spells. So we're not trying to remove like a counter spell from their hand with a Grief in our main phase. So this gets us Shock, or Bolt rather, Pitch, Sacrifice, and then Belcher and Activate. 7 mana. Oh, Masters. Bolt. Hold Priority. Fury. Oh, we take out all of these things. It probably doesn't matter. I don't think there's any way they could disrupt us here. Sacrifice for 7 total. Belcher. Activate. Okay, yeah, we mulligan down deep, but we top decked what we needed. Got a lot of good top decks in this deck. I don't know what they're doing. If they are really using their graveyard, Leyline of the Void could be good. Pyroclasm could be good if they're doing a bunch of small creature stuff. We're on the draw. Is there anything I don't want? I think I'm just going to run it back because I might be woefully unaware of what this deck is doing, but I haven't been playing a ton lately. So we're just running it back. Beseech if we draw Mindstone, Necropotence. Wonder if there's any world where we want to play Strike It Rich to bargain with. Probably not. What do our top decks look like? I guess not knowing what we're going into, I'm gonna keep this. Might be better just to mulligan for speed. I don't really know what they're okay. Well, I don't really know what they're ramping into. We're at 17. They have 1 on board. Assume they could do a couple damage in the next few turns. We have a Beseech for the Necropotence. So, and we have a second land we can bolt in next turn. That would put us at 14. Assuming we draw... Yeah, we're like pretty low on the cards we need here. My cat likes hanging out on the chair, but my dog. I was talking to someone who plays another Necrobelcher deck, the black-white version, the Orzhov version. He was saying he usually goes down to... He usually draws 7 cards, gives you some flexibility. 7 cards. In order to win, we need Belcher, some acceleration, a sacrifice, Grief or a Fury. So that's like 4 cards. Getting exactly those 4 cards out of 7 is not like a high likelihood. Let's do 8. Or 9 cards down to 8. Another Beseech. 2 Charbelchers, a sacrifice, a Dark Ritual. Discarding 1. Discarding a Gamble for sure. I might have Hand Disruption. We maybe want to keep 2 Belchers. I don't know if we want to keep sacrifice. Oh, they're just scooping. Okay, well, we didn't have it, but they scooped. That is A-okay with me. That's happened to... I think that happened in game 2 or game 3. And maybe record a couple with just the OG version. See how that compares. I'm assuming it's going to be worse. I think that the Necros are good. Maybe I should record with the Necros minus Beseech instead. See how that goes. We're not realistically beseeching a lot because we only have 8 essential beseeches, not including Charbelcher. Not including Charbelcher because we don't really want to. So this gives us sacrifice, Belcher, then turn 3 need to draw a land versus Mana Confluence, Wanderer, which doesn't really give us anything. Yeah, I think keeping a hand with Belcher, sacrifice, Beseech is probably fine. Play our Black Source first in case they have Hand Disruption, because Hand Disruption can get our lands because they are non-lands on the front. Poison, eh? That's pretty weird. Do we want a Fury pitching Fury? Not really if we have a sacrifice and no other red cards. But Swamp tells me that they're playing blue with all that proliferate stuff. Having 1 poison counter might matter. Do we just want to cast Belcher here? Yeah, I think we probably do. I think that probably is our best line. It gets rid of the poison guy too. And then land or Dark Ritual gets us enough for an activation. Yeah, see, this is where Beseech isn't doing us a lot of work. So I don't know. Rot Priest and a Skull Dweller. I guess we gamble for a Dark Ritual. That's pretty good odds. This is kind of where gamble shines, even though the odds are 30%. Yeah. I don't know exactly what this deck is playing. I don't think they're the Sultai version. I don't think they'd be playing that many basics. I think we just run it back. And then Pyroclasm doesn't target for Rot Priest. So when you target Rot Priest or target a creature they control, it gives us 2 poison counters. So Pyroclasm doesn't target. You might board in some of that, but I think that we're probably just fast enough. I guess that's where maybe really rethinking this board is important. Well, this gives us turn 1 Necro with a Belcher in hand. Suppose we keep turn 1 Necro with a Belcher in hand. They let us go first. Might have been an accident. Since our life total likely doesn't matter a ton, and we have Belcher, so we need Sacrifice Fury or Sacrifice Black Card Grief to win next turn. I think we're gonna go pretty low here, especially since it's game 2 and we're up 1. Assuming they have Hand Disruption in black, but maybe they don't. Go down to 7. Hope we get a second Belcher or a Beseech. 7 seems reasonable. Most of their creatures are probably hitting us for 1. Yeah, so that's a turn 2 with 2 Belchers. So discard 7. I hate having to... Okay, so... discard red land, Mind Stone, Necro. We want sacrifice. We have 1 black land. Guess we can discard black land. And right now we have sacrifice, red land. Guess we discard grief. But they're probably not playing counter spells unless we just totally missed the Sultai in game 1. We discard gamble. We have 2 furies and a red card. We have 2 dark rituals and a sacrifice. That means we have to get rid of... I guess we get rid of Dark Ritual. Maybe it was better to keep 2 Dark Rituals over 2 Furies. Yeah, that probably was better. Rot Priest is it. Fury with Fury. We don't target anything. We sacrifice. We Dark Ritual. Charbelcher. So I guess, I mean, this was basically a Goldfish. That's fine. I got Goldfish as well, I guess. I think that is enough with this new version. Try testing, I guess, without Beseech and see how that goes. Without Beseech, but with Mind Stones over Solar Transformers. Shadowheart, Avatar, Kaid Karan will play first. A Fox Jace, the Mind Sculptor sleeve. We have better 6s. This is maybe a worse 6. It's probably good to keep hands with Belcher and no Necro even, but we've got the sacrifice, so if we draw Belcher, I think that this is probably good. We bottom the black land or the sacrifice? We probably bottom the black land. And we'd rather have Boggart Trawler in terms of castability against a graveyard deck. I mean, even though we're just going to play this turn 1. Boggart Bog tapped and pass. Shock Events, Soulscar Mage. You're against Prowess or Burn. Luckily, Soulscar Mage's ability, non-combat damage, puts -1/-1 counters on creatures. Doesn't really matter to us right now. Are we casting Mind Stone? Or are we gambling? I guess we're gambling for Belcher. And hoping we don't discard Sacrifice or Fury. Grief. That is okay. So we're looking at Prowess / Burn here. Hemer. We need a red card. We draw a red card next turn, and they don't have like an obscene quantity of burn spells. No red card, eh? Well, luckily, I don't know. We'll see. Our potentially bad draws do feel a lot worse against a deck like this. Expressive, I like when people cast Expressive. It's a good card. Maybe Timeless is a little too fast generally for Expressive. We need it this turn, most likely, or we're fucked. This does not get us there. Grief, sacrifice Grief. Gives us only 6 mana. Asking for a red card was not insane. I'd rather not show them we have Necropotence. They might not look in our exile, to be honest. This gives us the luxury of taking a burn spell out of their hand, Brainstorm, and a Witness Protection. Yeah, any of these will kill us, so that's basically game. We'll take Royal Treatment and trust that they won't Witness Protection their own creature. Yeah, we can't even reliably draw a card off of Mind Stone. We need that mana for activation. That's fine. Burn isn't a huge part of the meta. Probably going to be one of our annoying matchups, given we play Necro and Bolt lands. Yeah, they're just going to Brainstorm and kill us. That's fine. Are they not going to Brainstorm and kill us? They are going to Brainstorm and kill us. I guess let's see if we would have had it. Yeah, that would have been helpful last turn, but I guess the real question now is, do we board anything else in on the play? I think that we don't. We could board in Pyros for Necros. That might be the better play. This is not good. This is, I mean, this is a Goldfish, I guess. Bottom the Necro. Can we Goldfish faster than that? Taking 6 life to do it on turn 4? Taking no life to do it on turn 5? Yeah, I think we... Do they play counter spells in their sideboard, I guess, is the real question. Nope, they play Expressive Iteration. So can they kill us next turn? I strongly doubt it. I really doubt they can do 11. Yeah, this version of Prowess doesn't seem that fast. I don't know. Even Monstrous Rage only gets them to 6 damage here. Okay. Scoop, yeah. So on the play, I think we probably do take out the Necrodominant for Pyroclasm. We take out one more for an Inquisition and feel good about that. Want to go for the throat? Probably not. Oh, this is a turn 1 Necro. I guess we do it. No, it's just the Thundering Falls. Keep it on top, huh? All the Profane. Dark Ritual. Necropotence. Do we want to grief with our demonic tutor right now? We're looking for sacrifice, dark ritual. Probably don't want to. This is tough. So if we draw sacrifice, a dark ritual, but no Belcher, that gets us to 7 mana, 2 for a demonic tutor, casts our Belcher. Assuming we hit 2 lands. We've got the Pyroclasm, so maybe Grief Demonic Tutor's not the best. I think we activate 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pushing it 8 times. Got a sacrifice, an Inquisition, a Thoughtseize. A gamble, but no Dark Ritual. Discarding red land, Thoughtseize, second gamble. We want the Fury. We discarding Malakir Rebirth, probably. Pyroclasm, an Inquisition, I suppose. We can still cast Belcher and potentially Demonic Tutor if we get rid of Gamble for a Dark Ritual. That is fine with us. That lets us draw a card, and we didn't really want to go deeper anyways. Another Fury. So, for sure, Fury, pitching, Fury. Sacrificing Fury gets us to 5. Bolting ourselves gives us E-Tutor and Belcher. That feels good. Good lines. Good lines. How many games do I need to play with this to figure out if it's better than Beseech? I am not sure. Oh, that's poopy. Okay, well, I guess we need to draw land. We can also gamble for land. Or do we just play Mind Stone? So if we gamble for land, can't cast the Mind Stone. Can't get it this turn anyways, so we play the Mind Stone. And hope they can't do 6 to us. Looks like they kept a bad hand. Good game, partner. I think the real question is if we want the Necro Dominance or not, because it lets us only go to 5. And I think that we want more cards than the Orzhov version typically does, because they have Sorin and the 7-drop Vampire Sacrifice for 7 mana, or Fair Plan with the Vampire, which has Lifelink. We have no such luxury of Lifelink. This lets us sacrifice a Fury, Dark Ritual, or Belcher. Ara's headquarters. Do we want to bolt for a Mind Stone? I guess we don't know what they're playing. I'm going to go for it. Could matter. If we draw a Belcher, that's the difference between winning or not winning. Once upon a time, got blue mana up. Doesn't give us a ton of information. Got counterspell mana up. I guess the difference here is Solar Transformer would let us cast Necropotence. Maybe in this deck, Transformer is better. They put another Spar's headquarters into play. Potentially can draw off Mind Stone. 4 mana. Getting bad if they're playing tons of counter spells. They've got a Goose. I want to see them play more cards. I don't know what their win condition is. Oko. We do not care for Oko. Do we want to draw here? Given that there's an Oko, would we rather have more mana or more cards? I think what we're looking for is to, with them down, rip a Belcher off the top. We bolt this in. We can sacrifice it. We would, yeah, I think that's the correct move. So we're gonna do double Fury here. We're gonna bolt this in. So I guess this deck is more prone to doing fair shit potentially. We'll get rid of their Oko, and then we'll cast Fury and Mind Stone. I guess we could also cast Necropotence, maybe. So this puts us down to 3 black. Yeah, I guess we cast Fury and Necropotence. That's actually, that was a pretty good line. That was a pretty good turn. And I guess we're hitting it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because if we're looking at food aggro, if they have another, go for that. Let's go for 5 and see what 5 gets us. 5 gets us a Belcher. So we've got fair and unfair on the table potentially. Assuming they don't have any counter spells in hand, which I don't think is a fair assumption at all, but are they going to return it to our hand? Just for us to recast it and kill it? Do we want to do? I don't think we want to do that. And then they ostensibly, if we don't have another one, I mean, they're also holding up 2 mana. Oh, again, very fine with us. Want to cast Belcher? They probably have mana drain up. I guess we swing first. Do we swing into face or swing into Teferi? Swing into face, try to scam in Fury. Probably gonna mana drain it. We're gonna growth spiral. Sure. Into spell pierce maybe? Nope. So we can't do. Oh, we can do both. I don't think we played land for turn. But that puts us down to 4, which isn't great. Let's go for it anyways. It seems like a fun line. Oh, we can't cast Malakir Rebirth. Okay, that's fine. Then we play a Belcher. I was not remembering Teferi's ability. I was counting him already dead. Sink into Stupor gets us. Swords to Plowshares isn't great, but if they don't have both. So this puts Charbelcher in 3rd from the top. I don't know why they're doing that unless they have a Stifle. Doesn't really make any sense. On the play against this deck, we wish we had Shieldred's Edict. I think I said that before. I think we need to change sideboard. I think we probably run it back against Control. No land. Turn 1 gamble could get rid of Belcher or Dark Ritual. 1 up. I'm gonna spin the slot machine and turn 1 gamble for a black land. Pretty good. Goldfish. They aren't mulliganing to counter spells. Maybe they are. Oh, hey. If we had a black land, that'd be pretty sweet. Gamble. Or a black sword. We pitch the Fury. Need that to win next turn, but this is also fine. They don't have any counter magic. They could have Teferi next turn, which slows us way the fuck down. But we also win next turn if they don't have like Oko or Teferi. They do have Oko. It turns it into. It still has 4 mana. We can still sacrifice it. I just don't know if we want to sacrifice it for a Necro dominance. Maybe we do. Play our Pinnacle Monk. Tapped. I think we pay. What are we at? 14? Let's pay 7. We get a Belcher, no acceleration. 2nd or 3rd red land. Malakir Rebirth. Maybe we want a Malakir Rebirth Grief. They don't have any disruption, but they might have counter magic. Do we want the 2? Do we want... I don't know if we want 2 red. I don't think we really need 2 red lands. The Malakir Rebirth or the other red land? I think the other red. And if they get rid of this again, that would be awesome. Be awesome. They're probably holding up counter magic. We don't really want to bolt this in. We just want to grief for counterspell and then jam. Assuming they don't have the Wandering Emperor. But what does Wandering Emperor do? Don't want them to draw cards. They can still Oko our Belcher. Probably want Teferi gone. Oh, I was being stupid. They still have Oko. We can't really jam here. I did a dumb calculation. Forgot about Oko. So I think what we're going to do here is pay 5 life. Hope we hit a Dark Ritual. Oh, we do. Grief Sacrifice Dark Ritual gets it for it. Oh, I did a stupid. I forgot they could make the Samurai. Alright. We scoop there. That's fine. We went down too far. We just run it back again. And wish we had Shieldred's Edict. So with a Fury, this is a Belcher or a Necropotence. Otherwise, it doesn't really do anything. And it's too slow, and they have Oko and the Teferis. This is turn 3 if we draw a land. I think we bottom Fury. Fury gets rid of stuff. Grief lets us pitch. I guess we bottom grade and want to draw mana sources. Once upon a time, Gilded Goose. Hail as old as time. Shock Pool. Goose. We drew a black source. I think we want to bolt. Dark Ritual. Belcher. They could play an Oko next turn. I think it's better for us to get an Oko or a Teferi out of their hand. That was the right call. Now we just need to draw land, Dark Ritual, which is not bad odds. It's like probably approaching 45 or 50. It is a Necro Dominance. It is not what we needed. Okay. Mathematically, in the next 2 turns, we should. Got a Chrome Coast. They have 12. They have a slightly higher chance of drawing what we need than them. This could be a Teferi hero. This is a Fury, which I guess we probably want. Mana Drain? Absorb Energy. Guess we knew about that. Takes a counterspell out of their hand in case we draw Dark Ritual. Mind Stone. Do they have a counterspell for Mind Stone? They do. They have the Absorb Energy. This is fairly bad RNG right now. Their RNG is okay. Okay, this I'm assuming gets there. Yep, we got there. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This is noodling around with our Rakdos list.